Hello, listeners to the Wholehearted podcast. Welcome to another episode. And today I'm very excited to be talking to Dr. Azhar from Malaysia. Dr. Azhar is somebody who is very influential on LinkedIn. He's somebody I've been following and he has a lot of followers. He's a very busy man. So today I'm so excited to be speaking to him. Welcome to the Wholehearted podcast, Dr. Azhar.
Thank you so much, Cohen. Thank you for the invitation. I'm very happy to be here.
I'm so excited to be talking to you because I think we have so much to get into, right? And I'd just like to jump straight in with the first question we typically ask our guests. The first question is this: what does being wholehearted mean to you?
For me, being wholehearted meaning giving your all to whatever that you are doing. That you know, okay, I want to do this, and I'm going to put my whole effort into that. Because sometimes the opposite is obviously half-hearted, right? Then you're just going in and not really wanting to do something. So therefore, you're neither here nor there. So which is pointless, really. So if you want to do something, then give it your best, and then things will work out somehow.
You make it sound so simple, right? But
Very simple.
but sometimes people it's like they scared, they takut, right? It's like so they might just like kind of like hold back a little. So what are some of the common reasons you see people sometimes having some barriers towards living more wholeheartedly?
It's definitely fear. For me, people are scared about doing new things, making changes because the fear of the unknown. So they're always thinking about the worst thing that can happen. They don't think about what could happen if things go right. So therefore, that's the number one limiting factor, in my opinion, the fear of the unknown. If you imagine that you're jumping into the deep sea and you have no idea what's lurking under. It could be some kind of sea monster, whatever. And for me, I look at it as excitement of discovering something new. I might discover a new sea monster instead of being eaten by the sea monster. And a lot of people cannot understand that. They're like, okay, I'm not going to jump off the boat into the deep sea.
Yeah, but maybe if they don't have the track record of having discovered something positive, right? So maybe their past experiences have been a little, like negative. So obviously that's going to kind of like, stop them in the tracks, right? Like, yeah, because if their first experience with a so-called sea monster, right, in your words, is like they get bitten, then straight away, obviously they have reasons to be afraid, right? So how can they overcome that?
Yes, that's right. For me, it's starting, if you have that fear, then to start with smaller things. It goes back to building your confidence. You cannot build confidence by trying a huge thing straight away. Let's say, doing a podcast. You're not going to suddenly, hey, one day I'm going to start a podcast. Before this, I've never done public speaking or I've never done any engagement at work. Yeah. So that's your little things beforehand, and then you feel, okay, I'm now ready for my big moment on my own podcast.
Yes.
And therefore, that's the steps that people need to make. What are the little steps that I can do to get me to these bigger things that I want to do later on?
Yeah, that's very, very true. In fact, when I first started my podcast, right, that was about 3 years ago now. It actually took me 3 years before I started my podcast because I am somebody who, in the past, I start something, I'm very excited. And then after a while, when the going gets tough, I sometimes get a little distracted. I sometimes feel a little, disheartened. And then I don't continue. And I never push through. Yeah. And so I don't want to start another project only to kind of like leave it halfway. Yep. And then that will just reinforce to me that I have a track record of giving up halfway. So I didn't want that kind of like narrative to keep going. So I really hesitated for a long time until one day I really decided I was going to go for it. But even before I go for it, I actually lined up 4 of my friends.
To be the guest.
Yeah, to be the guest. Okay. So I talked to my friends, like people who are very inspiring nevertheless, but I know they are my friends, right? So they are more likely to be more supportive, they are likely to encourage me and they will show up as well. So so I first I lined up 4 of them. So once I started doing that 4 of them, I have that momentum, I have that runway, and then I started getting more and more confident and comfortable. And I started approaching strangers, right? I started approaching people like yourself, right? For the second time, in person, but although I've been kind of like interacting with you on and off, and also on LinkedIn.
Yeah. I think it's the small build. Another example for me would be that you're coming to my networking event on Sunday, and my aim was to get 100 people. And imagine doing that. If I suddenly decide I'm gonna do an event 100 people, it's not gonna work that well. But I started off my first event. I think maybe at one point, at my lowest point, one of my event, I had 3 people.
Oh, wow.
3 people came to
Wow.
my training. 3 only. I'm like, oh. But I still continue because again, it's the practice of being in front of people, organizing an event, and these people paid to
Wow.
attend already. So you do the event. So I remember that was my lowest number ever, like 3. But then like tomorrow we have about 80. One of my biggest one about 6 months ago, I had 100 people. And I would never imagine that even just last year or 2 years ago that I can get 100 people to come to my event because they want to. I'm not paying them. I'm not forcing them. And they come because they want to interact with other people, networking, and they want to learn something. So
Congratulations, right? You have managed to scale very, very quickly. And to be honest, it is a paid event. It's not a free event. And there's so much free event out there, right? And for people to pay, for 80 people to pay, that says something.
yes, I'm very pleased with that. It shows that when you understand what people want and then you deliver, you can do a lot. And again, it's from trial and error, and you try with smaller event first, and that's how you build a momentum. I think a lot of people they only see the success of people when they are already huge. They don't understand the 3-4 years in the background that led to that. I think here in Malaysia we have this very famous TikToker, Khairul Aming. He's one of the probably number one TikToker there, super famous now. And he always tell people that, well, you don't see me 4 or 5 years ago, how long I've been doing all the TikTok videos before I suddenly hit it big. Because people see the success story only, and then they want it to happen to them in 2 weeks' time. Of course, not gonna.
So let me just take you back to the time where you only had 3 people show up, right?
Yep.
So usually there's almost like this invisible fork in the road, this decision tree. It's like 3 people only. Oh, I suck. I don't think this is worth it. I don't think I'm any good at this. Let's just give up. So many people give up. Right? They don't have that staying power to kind of like start to reap the rewards later down the road.
Yeah.
So what was the thought process for you when you're facing this point of only 3? Obviously, I could see from your face just now that you were a little disappointed by that, maybe even discouraged.
Yeah.
But how then do you pick yourself up and decide, hey, you know what, I'm going to push through?
For me, it was at that moment in time, I was concentrating. I need to still deliver my 100%.
Wow.
And then when I still get a very positive feedback from them, then I thought, okay, it's not my content. My content is good because they are giving me good feedback. So then it's more, okay, where can I do better? Then obviously it's about the sales and marketing of yourself too. How can you market the event better?
Yeah.
That's another side that we really don't know. Those who suddenly go into business and they realize, oh, sales and marketing is like, wow, so much to learn.
Yes.
And that's where I then start learning more about the sales and marketing side as well. Because it's not enough that you have a good product already. We all know this. Yeah, you have a good product, but you need to know how to sell it too.
Absolutely, absolutely. And also recently I just came to this idea, right? I was reading about the law of diffusion of innovation. So whenever you have something new, right? Like say you're the new kid on the block, or you have a new fantastic idea, bombastic idea. But many people it's kind of like who is this guy? Right? There's this distrust, right? And there's this kind of feeling like, oh, this idea is so bombastic. Will it work? So, but obviously there are some group of people, what we call the early adopters. They are the people that, they will queue up for the iPhone, right? Even before, they are on the waiting list.
Yeah.
So they always want to have like the first hands on the newest thing. So maybe you can consider the first 3 people, they believe in you, even though maybe you don't even believe yourself so much too, right?
That's right. Yeah. They are the early adopters. Yeah.
Yeah. So did you do anything to ask them to kind of like help you spread the word?
Not specifically, but I do make the habit of getting the the review and then writing about it because social proof is important, right, of your work. And and they are still. I have a community already. They are still in the community, and that's how the word grows about how the training that I deliver is more about the word of mouth as well. That they say, okay, I've been to my training and it was beneficial, blah blah blah, and then that's where I get to recruit more people as well.
Fantastic, fantastic. I mean, let's just go back a little, right? Just like talk about fear, right? And we also establish, understand, right, that you have spent like more than half of your lifetime outside of your home country, Malaysia.
Correct. Crazy.
Yeah. So you actually flew to England to do your high school and then study to study medicine in England.
Yeah.
So that was a very young age. How young were you when you first go to England?
I was 18.
18.
I was 18.
Wow.
Yeah.
So when you were in England, was it like fear? Was it kind of like, will this work out? Or is it kind of like, yay, freedom, finally?
A mixture of both. Yeah. Freedom and then fear, because at that time Malaysia is still not so developed, and then you have this preconceived idea of the Western world as being so high up. Yeah. So not knowing all that, and then first time living with I was in a boarding school, so boarding school with other foreigners. So it was very challenging in the beginning to adjust to the new system, new culture, to the weather. England has terrible weather. And then the food is, oh my God, really bad. In their defense, at school, they did try to provide what they call Asian food. But it is not Asian food. And definitely and you have to remember too, this was before before mobile phone exists. Yeah? When calling home is very expensive.
Yeah.
And that part was quite tough too in the beginning.
Wow. So when you went to a boarding school, right, and then you have to interact with people from different cultures, right? How was that like for you? Was it like, oh wow, I get to meet all these people? Or was it kind of like, I don't know if I fit in?
I really enjoyed meeting the new people. I went what they call public school in England, and my naivety, I didn't know. Do you know public school is their private school?
Yeah.
Yeah. So I have no idea. I thought public school is public. I thought, wow, their public school so nice. Each class like 10, 15 people. I thought.
I know now, but maybe when I was young also I didn't know.
Yeah, I didn't know. And so it was actually very privileged, and I realized I was very privileged to get there. And what I learned the most is the concept of learning. It's so un-Asian. Asian is very about passing exam. Over there, it's more about learning. It is really about learning, expressing yourself. I remember I had quite an eccentric maths teacher, two of them, and both were Oxford graduate. Both were like, oh. But now looking back, they were probably the best, because we would spend an hour. An hour lesson will be 10 minutes is about the syllabus, and then the other 50 minutes just random things we are discussing. But that's where I learned, hey, it's not about just passing exam, it's about learning more about the world, questioning stuff, and thinking for yourself. So that was the best part of the school there.
So you spent altogether 20 years in England, right? You studied there.
Studied there, then I worked there.
Medicine school.
Yep, at school.
And you worked there.
Yep.
Wow. And then you became a doctor. So how long were you a practicing doctor?
I was practicing doctor for 8 years. So I did my usual housemanship in the beginning. And then after that, I moved into specialization in kidney medicine. And I was about a year and a half before I completed it to become a consultant. But I decided that time already, I thought maybe not for me. The work is not how I thought it would be. And that's when I decided I need to leave and do something else.
How did you think it was, and how did it not meet your expectations?
I think when I went to study medicine, it sounds really cliche. It's about helping people. That's what you want to do. You want to help and cure people. That's the intention. And then once you start working, then all the other stuff starts coming in. It's about how do you manage other people around you, and then the administration side comes into play, and then a bit more careful about what you do with people as well, because of from the medical legal side as well. So all those start coming in, and it's not as simple as someone is sick, I want to treat you and let's work together. It's not as simple as that anymore. And a lot of times as you get more senior, it's more the administrative side that takes over your time rather than looking after patients.
Which particular arm of medicine were you practicing?
I was doing kidney medicine, nephrology. Yeah.
So that's quite also quite related to some critical conditions and
yes, and they tend to be a little bit younger because there's a lot of disease that affect the kidney that we're not quite sure how it works, but tend to be in the younger people. So unlike like heart disease and all that, tend to be younger people. Kidney disease is a mixture, and they're more younger patient.
Oh, you mean the heart disease are more for older people, but
Yeah.
the kidney disease are more for younger people?
Some, yeah.
Wow.
Some, yeah.
Wow. So was there like a very heavy responsibility on your shoulder, like having to treat these younger people, and especially sometimes having to make a decision?
Yep. Especially when they obviously don't make it, yeah. And you think, oh, such a young life being taken early already, yeah. And that's one of the reason I left also, about the decision making between life and death. That sometime as you get more senior, you're the one who make that final call. Do we continue resuscitation or no? And they'll be looking at you and they'll be like, what do you think, doctor? And it's you, yes or no. Let's say you've already spent 30 minutes resuscitating, then you have to decide, do we continue another 10 minutes, let's say, or do we stop? Then you have to make a decision. Yeah. Wow. So when you stop, you think, okay, later on you think, did I make the right choice? Not sure. Yeah.
But did you say that experience helped you in terms of decision making?
Good question. Could be. I am actually a very decisive person. I'm very, give me a situation, give me the facts, then I will decide. I can decide, no problem, very fast. Can irritate some people. And I get irritated when people cannot make decisions. But now that you pointed it out, maybe, because at that point, I don't have, I come back to you in 5 minutes. Yeah. I have to make that decision there and then. Yeah.
Wow. Dr. Azhar, ocean,
jump,
amazing sea creatures, jump. What are you thinking about?
Yeah, that's
sea
right.
creatures are waiting for you. But I mean, jokes aside, wow, I never thought, it's like a decision that's about life and death, like literally life and death.
It is literally life and death, and the harder it is when you've never met the patient, so you have no idea, because we take into consideration what their quality of life beforehand. So if their family members say, they're already bedbound and all that, so we'll do some resuscitation work, but maybe not so long, because it's not going to be such a good outcome for them later on. But if they were fit and healthy before, then we really try our best to resuscitate. But when someone comes in, let's say without relatives, and you don't know their story before, so you make the best judgment from what you know. Yeah.
Wow. I mean, now that I think about it, right, you're the first doctor, like medical doctor on my podcast. And so we are going places that it's uncharted territory for me as well. And so that's very interesting to unpack. And then you decided that that's not quite for me. So how long did it take you a decision to say, you know what, I'm going to leave this? Or did you take you some time to kind of deliberate and like explore options?
It took me a bit of time to, maybe so long ago now, maybe about 6 months or so. Something.
So of course, that's a big decision, right? Obviously,
yeah,
you invested all that money to study medicine.
Because you spend all your time studying, and now you're giving it up for a completely unknown future. And at that time, it was also not so common for doctors to leave and do something else. Yeah. And of course, all the people I talked to are like, "Are you crazy?" But luckily, I had one friend who already moved to pharma industry, and she said to me, "Maybe you want to explore pharma industry." So I have to thank her for that, and I did, and I was also very lucky. The first interview I went to outside, I got the job.
Wow.
Yeah, when I think back, wow. And again, I have to thank that boss too for whatever he saw in me, for taking me in.
Did you get a job because at the time Pharma is really in need for talent, or do you get a job because of some X factor, the Dr. Azhar factor that you brought to the table?
I actually asked him. I have met him afterwards as well, since I left the company and all that. I said, why did you take me in? And he said, there was something about you. You couldn't really elaborate more. And I think I can understand, because as a hiring manager, when I was interviewing people, there is always this X factor, if you want to call it. You can't really pinpoint what it is, but you just feel it that, hey, this person is the one, right? He has the talent, the drive, and however that you show that during the interview. And maybe that's what I showed him. That's why he hired me.
Later we'll come back to this, okay? Because now you're a career logist. You're a different kind of doctor. You're a career doctor. But we'll come to that later. So I just want to continue to develop this story. So you got into pharma. So it was like you left practicing medicine, go into pharma.
Yep.
And so how did pharma open up for you? How did that world open up for you?
When I first moved, I remember thinking, oh my God, I don't understand anything. I really didn't understand anything. All the things that I've learned the last 8 years in hospital, in a way, didn't really apply.
Wow.
And I remember someone asked me, you need to read all the SOP. And I asked him, what is SOP? I never heard that word before. I think the guy just went like, oh my God.
Why did we hire this guy?
Why did we hire this guy? But what I learned after that is how complex the process of developing a new medicine is, and then how much work that we do, that the industry do, and then the impact that you have for the patients, and that's really incredible. Like, I've been very fortunate that I work for various company that develop very good medication, and then when you see those medication being used by your relatives, your friends, you're like, oh, okay, this is why I do what I do. Yeah?
Wow. So I mean, what I'm hearing is that there's this shift from you are the decision maker whether the person gets more treatment or not. Yeah. You are the person administer that drug. Now you're actually kind of like going back upstream to kind of like be part of the developmental process.
Yeah,
I can feel the pride in your heart as you are speaking about that.
Oh,
right?
It's amazing. One of the drug I work on is the first new drug in the category in 50 years.
Wow.
In 50 years. And I tell myself, I am part of history. So you're like, wow. Okay, nobody will understand it, but I understand it, and that will stay with me forever, really, that I was part of the team that launched this new drug. And that feeling is like, wow. I remember one event, what I do normally for my work is I'm in the department that teaches doctor how to use new medication. So we would organize teaching events, symposium, and all that. And my best story for that is one time I was organizing a symposium at the European Heart Congress. That's the biggest cardiology congress. And we had 1,000 people at our symposium. It was huge. And at that time I was thinking, I'm organizing this educational event. There's 1,000 top cardiologists in here listening to this talk. And you're like, wow.
And you delivered that talk.
Not delivered, organized. So we get
Okay.
other key doctors to speak. But it was my hard work. And that was one of the highlight for me working for that company at that time.
Wow. Wow.
And like you said, it's now upstream. You're not the one giving the medication, but now you're helping to spread the news about the medication and teach doctors about the medication.
But it's so beautiful, right? There's this, I think from what I'm hearing you is there's this element of involvement in the developmental process, right? Because like you said earlier on, like people often come see the end result, but they don't realize the amount of work that go into the architecture of the solution, right? But I mean, in your case, it's more R&D, a lot of like testing, a lot of developmental work before you actually come with a product that's ready for the market.
Yep.
And even the process of getting it certified and getting it kind of like approved, right? Because
Yep.
drugs and like pharma is a very highly regulated industry. So it's like going through all these hoops.
Yep.
There's this element of wow.
Yeah, there's a lot of work that goes behind the scene that people don't see. So that's why I think sometimes pharma industry is not the most popular industry, but people don't understand what really happens in the process. If they understand it, then they understand, hey, actually, it's not so easy to get a drug out there.
Wow, and this is a bit controversial, but I have the fortune of training some medical science liaisons (MSLs) in my career. Although I've never worked a day, I was never a pharmacist, nor was I a certified doctor like you. But because of I know data storytelling, and I teach them my storytelling techniques and communication skills and presentation skills. I was training MSLs, and sometimes they will share with me that their frustration is that they'll get looked down upon by the doctors. The doctors will kind of look at them, especially the KOLs, like kind of look at them and say, the reason why you're doing this is because you failed as a doctor or something like that. That is what I was told. I don't mean this to be, critique, but that's what I was told. Is that true?
Yeah, I think in the beginning there is some stigma to moving to pharma industry. It's called the dark side.
The dark side.
The dark side. So you move to the dark side. So therefore, it's people, who apparently cannot make it in the real hospital world. And that's these days not true anymore.
Not true, right.
So that you tend to get that remark still from that generation of doctors. The new doctors are more understanding, more aware that there are more choices to what you do with your medical degree. You don't have to stay in hospital to make an impact. And I don't think it's such a big problem anymore.
Okay, let me just take you back to the moment when you were going to leave medicine, right? And then you go into pharma. Yeah. But you stayed in England. Was coming back to Malaysia an option at the time?
Was it an option? The option is always there, right? The option is always there.
Did you just kind of like, no, I haven't done having fun. I still want to continue staying in England and build a career here? Or it's like kind of like, okay, you know what? I'm just going to pack out and go home.
Yes, I wanted to still stay abroad. I still wanted to stay overseas. And the longer you leave home, the harder it is to go back. So I can understand those who are still out there, because you kind of lose touch a little bit with your home country. So therefore, it gets harder to go back. But you're probably going to ask, so why do you come back? But at that time, I wasn't ready yet to come back. I really wanted to continue pursuing the career, and pharmaceutical industry is bigger in Europe.
Yeah.
So therefore, I thought, okay, I'll stay and see what I can make out of my new career.
Yeah, I think most of the companies are like in England, Switzerland, and
England,
like Germany,
Switzerland, Germany,
France. Yeah, so those countries, right? Yeah, so there's more opportunities there as well.
Definitely. Yeah.
Wow. So after staying in England for 20 years, you moved to Germany.
Yes.
But why? You got bored? Or what? The weather?
I was bored of fish and chips.
Okay, yeah.
It was unplanned. Yeah, it was unplanned.
Oh, okay.
It was unplanned. I never thought I would live in Germany. I never thought I would live in England, to be honest.
Yeah.
I thought by the time I leave England, it would be to come back to Malaysia.
Yeah.
But at that time, I was made redundant at my job.
Oh, okay.
It was not, I opted for it. There was some restructuring as usual when a company is taken over, and I decided to take the redundancy. And then suddenly one day I got a call from a headhunter to say, oh, there's a job in Germany. I'm like, okay. And then I heard the company, and then I heard for which product. And this is that new drug, the first one in 50 years. So I thought, wow. And I'm like, okay, why not? I'll go for the interview. And I went for the interview, and then I thought, okay, I have to move.
So basically, you went for interview, you get a job. You go for interview, you get a job. So you have 100% record.
No. But that one, I got the job. And so it was unplanned.
Okay.
And the biggest motivation is because it's this new drug. Because it was really, it's hard to explain when you're not in the area, but it was like this, new drug coming into the market. and I wanted to work on that product. And when the chance came, it was, I will go for the interview. And I actually asked the headhunter, I said, who recommended me to you? So it's my boss, the one where I took the redundancy. So he actually recommended me to the headhunter.
And he did that because he enjoyed working with you. He knew what you're capable of, or he
Yes.
felt bad. That's why he referred you something.
He knew what I was capable of. And during the restructuring, basically, there was still a job for me, but it wasn't such an exciting job. So I thought, again, I think you can see the pattern. I don't do boredom.
Yeah, I don't do boredom very well. Yeah,
I don't do boredom very well.
Yeah.
So when I saw the job, I'm like, I can do it, but I think it's going to be boring. So I thought, give me the money, I go find something more
You're also
interesting.
living very dangerously, right? It's like Germany, right? It's like, of course, Germans, they generally speak very good English.
No,
But no,
actually, no.
but it's still a German speaking. I mean, it's like, it's
They
a,
don't speak English. That was my mistake too. I thought they speak English.
tell us more.
Everything is in German.
They can, but they don't, is it? Or they don't, they can't. Or
They can, but they don't, because they think they don't have good English.
okay.
And then the structure, the country, the society are all also very German. All the instructions, all the announcements, cinemas, anything you can name of, everything is in German. And I wasn't ready for that.
But you went. So how was it? How did you?
I only found out when I got there. And when I got there, I remember I arrived on a Sunday. Afternoon, and I didn't know this either. Sunday is nothing happens in Germany. All the shops close. Everyone stays at home or go hiking or whatever, but nothing is open. So imagine arriving in Germany on a Sunday afternoon, seeing there's no one out on the street. What am I doing? I moved from London, obviously London, to this
happening city.
and all that. And yeah, it was quite tough. And the German language stuff, I had to learn. Yeah, very quickly I knew, okay, if I want to enjoy living here, at work, of course, people speak English, but outside, no. So I learned English German. So I can at least converse with people and all that outside. Yeah.
I mean, such dedication, right? It's easy for you to just go like, what am I doing here? I don't speak the language, this foreign language, this very alien language. But you actually have that kind of humility to say, hey, you know what? Since I already jumped first, I'm going to have to now sleep in the bed that I made. And then you take the action. So you take responsibility to just go and learn and make the most of it.
Yeah. You have two options. You have quit and keep going, right? I'm very simplistic in my thinking. You have a problem, you have two options. Do I go back to London at that time? Or do I try to make it work? Yeah. Easy way, maybe just to pack up and go back to London. Yeah. But I thought, okay, I can do the other option of taking the time to learn the language and then settle in Germany. And
wow.
Yeah.
What did you like most about living in Germany?
Germany is very beautiful. They don't do enough promotion of their country from that side, tourism side, but Germany is actually very beautiful. And then people are very friendly, actually. They're not the different kind of friendly. They're a little bit reserved, but once you get over that, they're also very friendly. And I love that they're very into nature. Food is seasonal. So every season is different food. And then you're in the center of Europe, so you can explore the rest of Europe very, very easily.
So you're traveling every weekend?
Almost, yeah.
Wow.
Almost. Because if you can think about it, Paris is 4 hours drive away. Amsterdam also. Zurich is also 4 hours drive away. 4 hours from KL. You can't even get to Penang 4 hours.
But you're in a different city, you're in a different country.
Yeah, city, different country.
Wow. And of course, a lot of nature as well. I mean, you can take the train also, of course, right? It's so convenient, so connected.
And you can drive on the Autobahn. Yeah, the Autobahn, you heard about the Autobahn, right? Yeah, no speed limit. And that's I choose that for my workshops. I call it career Autobahn.
Oh, that's a nice metaphor.
Yes, exactly.
Beautiful
And
metaphor.
because I said your career has no limit, actually. It's up to you how fast you want to drive, where you want to stop, where you don't want to stop. Yeah.
But first of all, you must have the machine, right?
You must have the machine. So
Yeah, I
that's
mean,
you. Yeah. So
you are
you're
the Porsche.
you're the machine that is gonna drive on this career.
It's such a beautiful metaphor, right? Like some people, their brains are so capable, but they are only using like 5% of their brains, right? They are like, Mercedes, they are like Porsche, right? Or they are like Ferrari, right? But I mean, in the world of German cars, right? Porsche, Mercedes, but they are like driving at, first gear.
Yeah.
What's the point of buying a Mercedes when you're just driving at first gear all the time?
Yep. You need that runway for yourself. Yeah. You need that runway for yourself. Yeah.
It's like to see people having that potential but wasting it by not working hard, by not putting the shift into overdrive, it's quite painful actually.
It's this self-limiting beliefs that I cannot do this. I'm sure you met a lot of people who are like, oh, I cannot do it.
And I was also one of them. Guilty as charged. I felt so called out right now. But of course, I have good days and bad days. I mean, there are certain things I can't go like, podcast, go for it. Dr. Azhar, go for it. But there are certain things I can't go like, I don't know if I can do it. Of course, I wish I'm Superman, but I'm not, right? That's interesting. We'll come to that in a moment. Yeah. So then there was Germany. That's a very interesting experience. Then after Germany, you move again. You got bored about Germany? Again, you got what about sausages and beer or what?
No, actually, I was very happy in Germany. I even bought a house.
You bought a house in Germany?
Yeah, I bought a house in Germany. I bought this beautiful house in the center of the town is called Mainz. It's one of the old town in Germany. And I bought this old house, beautiful, when I bought it, it was being renovated. So I could input all my ideas, what I wanted. And then the house was ready. And the week that I moved in, the week that I got the keys, suddenly my boss asked me, do you want to move to the US? And I said no. I really said no. I said, I just got into my house. I've been waiting for a year to get in my beautiful house. And I don't want to go. I want to live in my house. That was the only reason.
Was it a castle?
No. It wasn't more of the German castle, but it was a castle to me. Yeah, It was a castle to me.
Wow.
And I said no. Actually, initially I said no, but he got a few of other people to convince me that I need to go to America. And I'm like, okay, I go.
What happened? You sold it or you rent it?
Initially I rent it out. Yeah.
Okay.
But now I sold it already. Yeah.
Wow. Otherwise we could go and see your house, man.
Yeah. That's how it started. And before I moved to the US, I was doing an assignment there already. Mm-hmm. I said yes to this crazy assignment. They said, for 6 months, we need we need somebody 2 weeks in Germany, 2 weeks in the US.
Okay.
That's what I thought too. I thought, that sounds so bad. So I said, okay, I'll do it. But once you start doing it, the jet lag really, because you're in constant jet lag. Oh, so tiring.
That's how you clock out all the Lufthansa miles, right?
Yes, the one I told you earlier. Yeah, that's how I clock out all the miles, because I was every 2 weeks I was traveling. Yeah,
wow,
to the US.
So then, what made you decided? Okay, US. No more Germany.
They convinced me that it's a good opportunity.
So clever. They just got a foot in the door strategy, right? They give you a taste of US. And after a while, it's easier for them to convince you and say, okay, you're gonna give up Germany and go all the way to US.
Yeah. So I said yes. And of course, I am thankful, actually. They were right. It is a good learning experience. US is a different kind of working system, different set of healthcare problems. So I learned a lot too while I was over there. So it was a very good 2 years. I enjoyed it a lot too.
You are very motivated by learning. And I think that also started with the mathematics teacher that you had in school, right? When that actually puts in you this hunger for learning.
Yeah, you kind of, there's this continuous learning, really. I don't know. I'm a sucker. Can I say sucker?
Sucker for
new knowledge. I always feel there's something else I can learn more or do better. Yeah.
Wow.
If I'm not doing it right, if I'm not getting the result, can I learn more about it. Yeah.
In the US, you were quite living the life, weren't you?
I was, yes. Yes.
So the office was in Connecticut, but you're living somewhere else.
I live in Manhattan.
Manhattan.
Manhattan, where Times Square is. And my apartment was 10 minute walk from Times Square. I can see the bright neon lights from my living room.
Wow.
And yeah, I thought if I'm going to live in US, I'm going to live in New York City, right in the middle.
Of Manhattan. Wow.
Of Manhattan.
Where the center of like all the things are going on, right? So wow. But you like the bright lights and you like the big city life.
Yes, amazing. I think in New York, what you see is that people don't judge you so much. I think that's probably why I liked it a lot. That you see people wearing whatever, all different kind of fashion and all that, and nobody really bats an eyelid. Because it's all just accepted. There's not so much judgment over there. Yeah.
But people come to New York to make a living, right? So you got people from all around the world, right? In New York, right?
Yeah,
so
and you really feel that buzz. You've been to New York, right?
Yeah, a few times.
You feel the energy in the city. Very hard to describe. It's like this. Wow.
I don't know if I'll live there though. I mean, there's nothing against New York, right? But like I've been there about 3 times, but I don't know if I want to live there.
Right.
Yeah.
Maybe I enjoyed it because I knew my assignment was for 2 years. I thought, okay, I have these 2 years. I'm going to enjoy it. Maybe it's different if you know, I'm going to be here for 10 years. I'm not sure.
But you drive 1 hour every day to work.
Yes. Well, you listen to podcasts, listen to videos or radio.
Always learning.
Or do your calls. Right? Some of the voice call you can already do.
Well, eventually you left and come back to Malaysia.
Yep.
Because of family emergency, right?
Not emergency yet, but my mom, I can see she's getting slower, getting older, obviously. And you can see when she climbs the staircase, she's stopping in the middle. When she goes to the top floor, right? She stops in the middle, catch a breath. So you kind of notice all that. And I don't know. Suddenly one day I'm like, okay, time to come home.
Wow, so much gems of wisdom shared by Dr. Azhar. In fact, the interview went on so long that we decided that we were going to cut it into 2 episodes. So what you have just heard was episode 1, where Dr. Azhar shared that living wholeheartedly means to give your all and overcoming the barrier of fear of the unknown. Through his career adventures, the lessons he has learned to pivoting to running his own business and events, Dr. Azhar embodies what it means to lean into your fears, challenge your limits, and live a wholehearted life. In episode 2, the story continues, and Dr. Azhar will be sharing with us about his return to Malaysia from his overseas working experiences, his reintegration into the Malaysian culture, and what it really means to be a wholehearted leader, what it really means to develop career skills so that you can get ahead of the rest. So stay tuned to episode 2. Meanwhile, stay wholehearted.